Hi, I'm Mr. Bizey, and I'm going to talk to you about playing this instrument, the flute. It's still crazy that I teach kids how to play flute. I actually teach 4th and 5th graders to play flute. When I learned to play the flute in college, I was terrible at it. It took me 3 weeks to get a single note out of this instrument. And I was very frustrated. Almost every other instrument, didn't have a problem with it. Flute, ugh. Terrible time with it. But, you know, I could play some simple stuff on the flute. And I want to talk about some early things. First of all, I want to just double check when we assemble our flute that we do it right. Now, when you take it out of your case, you have these 3 pieces, right? You have the head joint right here. You have the main body of the flute here. And you have the foot joint right here with the 2 keys. When assembling this, we take our head joint. Set down my foot joint here. We take our head joint and we don't just shove it in. What you want to do is actually grab it by where there aren't keys and grab it with the head joint and twist it in, okay? And then you want to get it so that the hole here is going to line up with your keys on the flute, okay? I'm going to look at that and figure that out. And you take your foot joint, and there's not a whole lot of room to hold this without touching a key. So you can take your thumb and put it over those 2 bottom keys, okay? And again, twist it in. Now I know when I first learned to play flute, I was like, oh, look, there's a rod here and a rod here, let's line them up. No, you actually want to move this so that the rod on the foot joint is going, so it's like going halfway through the keys on the main body. It'll work much better for how you're gonna play this, okay? And then I also suggest that you actually open this up just a little bit. You can see I have a little bit of spacing there where it's not as shiny in that. It just helps. Many of your flutes go actually a little sharp. And so by giving that little bit of space, it will tune it down just a little bit. Will also make you more in tune with the rest of the band or orchestra, which is always nice. So when you begin on flute, it's good to remember that, number one, I see this a lot. I see a lot of kids, they put their arms down like this. We don't play flute like this, okay? Your flute should be fairly parallel to the floor. It might dip down just a little bit, but don't get lazy. Don't be like, ugh. Or worse yet, it was the, I'm really tired and I'm gonna put my back arm over the back of the chair because that'll help hold it up. This isn't teaching good stuff, okay? You should be sitting on the front edge of your chair so you get good air support in your chest, okay? And then you bring your flute up and bring the flute to you. Now, what I would suggest is we take the hole, this has worked for me, we take this hole, put it right in the center of your mouth, and roll it down so it's just right at the edge of your lip, so that the edge of the hole is right at the edge of your lip. I know this might be hard to see with my beard and everything, but I'll show you right there. Show you an idea. Okay, and with that, you're in the right spot. It should be right in this like little divot right below your lip, between your lip and your chin. But that isn't going to do it, because I could put everything there, and I get nothing, right? How many people have gotten that sound, right? Right? A whole bunch of wind. The basic way I go through it is with like, like you're going to eat something really you're excited to eat something, and this is silly, but poo, okay? Or better yet, too. Use the T sound because that'll help with your tonguing later on. Too. Now, a lot of times I teach this to kids and they go, too. Like the lips push out when they go too, like they're going to kiss their flute. Okay? Don't do that. Okay? Too. You notice I keep the corners of my mouth set. Maybe you notice. Too. So I'm keeping this set and just opening up a small hole right here in the center of my mouth to push that over. And what that happens when I do that, is then I get a sound. What I notice with a lot of kids as they work at this and they try to get a sound is pretty soon they're not getting a sound and they start pushing their lips out, or they push their upper lip out over trying to get a sound and that sort of thing. When you play this, your airstream is partially going into the flute, partially going over the flute. So it's kind of splitting the air. It also takes a lot of air to play the flute, so you need to take in a really deep breath and blow that air out. Now, if you blow it all out at once, you might get you know, something really high like that. Not what we're looking for, okay? You're just looking for a long, steady tone. And I'm using that T with my tongue to start the note. That's called proper tonguing. I'm sure you heard your teachers talking about that. But that's how you're going to make a basic sound with the flute. And you can join me in some future videos where I talk about different fingerings and other things to do with the flute. I'm only going to do some very basics with the flute because that's all I work with. Like I said, I work with 4th and 5th graders. I don't go a whole lot further into the flute, but I'm just going to go with some very basics that you can work on with the flute. And if you already play it, maybe these are good reminders to remember, oh, why am I not getting a sound? By the way, #1 best thing to do as a flute, if you're not getting a good sound, play with a mirror or take your phone and put it on selfie mode and play so you're looking at yourself. You're going to be surprised what you see your lips do. Think about what I just talked about. Poo, right? And you're going to see poo. And you're going to change all that stuff. And if you play with it, #1, let's see if I can create this. Not seeing it. You'll actually, maybe you're seeing it, it's hard to tell. You'll get like a little triangle of condensation right here on the edge, just past the hole if you're doing it right. So that's the other thing that you can look for. Right now, I don't think my room is very good for that. Anyway, that will help you with just some beginning flute playing. Join me again for some more flute playing in the future.